The crash. The ship was falling fast. Fire covered its wings. Smoke filled the sky as it broke through the clouds. Alarms were loud, red lights flashing everywhere. Inside, Captain Ryan Cole sat strapped in his seat, trying to keep control. "Come on. Just a little more," he whispered, his hands shaking. The ground was coming closer. Trees, rocks, dirt, all rushing up. With one final scream of metal and fire, the ship crashed into the unknown planet below. Then, silence. Ryan opened his eyes. Everything was dark and quiet. His head hurt. Blood ran down his face. He looked around. The ship was destroyed. Broken metal and fire were everywhere. The crew was gone. He was alone. Slowly, he pulled himself out. His body ached. The air was thick, but he could breathe. Strange purple trees covered the area. The sky was green with two suns above. He grabbed a small bag, a gun, and started walking. Hours passed. Ryan's legs were weak, but he kept moving. He followed an old path marked by rusted human signs. After some time, he saw something, a building, a small research station, human-made, maybe 20 years old. He walked closer. The door was broken. Inside, the place was dusty and dark. Papers, machines, and furniture were covered in dirt. The power was dead, but it was safe. For now. Ryan sat down, breathing heavy. "Anyone here?" he called out. No answer. He checked the control room. A broken computer. An old message blinked on the screen. Project EVA. Final report. All personnel lost. Lockdown protocol active. He frowned. Project EVA? Before he could read more, he heard a sound. Tap, tap, tap. Something small was moving in the hallway. Ryan pulled out his gun and stood still. The sound came closer. Then, from the shadows, a small figure stepped out. It was a little girl. She looked about 5 years old. Her hair was white. Her skin was light blue. Her eyes were big, glowing slightly, not human, but not fully alien either. She wore a dirty lab coat, too big for her. No shoes. She looked scared, but not wild. She stopped a few feet away from Ryan. Her voice was soft. Are you real?" Ryan blinked. "Yeah, I'm real." She looked at him for a long second. Her eyes filled with tears. Then she said something that stopped his heart. "Will you be my father?" Time froze. Ryan didn't know what to say. He lowered his gun. What did you say?" The girl took a step forward. "They said someone would come. A protector. A human." Ryan looked around. "Who are you?" "I'm Eva," she said. "I waited a long time." He stared at her. She was too clean to be wild, but too alone to be cared for. He looked at the broken lab around them. "The project name. Project EVA," he whispered. "Yes," she said. "That's me." Ryan's soldier instincts kicked in. This wasn't normal. This was a secret mission long forgotten. The girl was part of something bigger. A failed science project? A hidden weapon? But in that moment, none of that mattered. She was shaking, scared, alone. Ryan bent down slowly. "I'm not your father," he said gently. "But I won't leave you." She smiled weakly. Night came fast. Ryan fixed a small light. They sat together in the control room. Eva ate a protein bar like it was candy. She looked at him with tired eyes. "Everyone left," she said. "The bad things came. They screamed. People ran. Then, no one came back." "What bad things?" Ryan asked. Eva looked down. "They live in the dark. They smell like metal. They take people." He felt a chill. "Why didn't they take you?" "They tried. But I hid. And I listened to the voices." Ryan frowned. "What voices?" She touched her head. "They live in me." Outside, the wind howled. Strange noises echoed from the forest. Ryan checked his weapon. "I'll protect you," he said. Eva looked up. "You said you're not my father. But you stayed." Ryan paused. Then softly said, "I stay by those who need me." The camera zooms out. The night grows darker. The sound of something moving in the trees begins. Not human. Not animal. Something else. Eva leans against Ryan. He watches the shadows, finger on the trigger. The morning was silent, too silent. Captain Ryan Cole stood outside the ruined research station, his eyes scanning the alien forest. The trees were tall and twisted, their bark pulsing faintly like veins. Strange birds flew in silence above. Nothing here felt natural. Behind him, little Eva sat on a broken chair, hugging a stuffed toy she found in the rubble. It was dirty, old, maybe from another child, long gone. She didn't speak much. She just stared at the sky, like she was waiting for something. Ryan returned inside. The building was falling apart, but he had one goal: find out what this place was and what they had done to this girl. The main lab door was locked. The keypad blinked red. Ryan used a tool from his belt and sparked the wires. After a few tries, the door creaked open with a hiss of old air. Inside was a mess: broken glass, metal tables flipped over, dried blood on the floor. The walls were lined with tanks. Most were shattered. One still had a body inside, floating, frozen in green fluid. A human child, but with black eyes and thin, glowing lines on her arms. Ryan stepped back. What the hell was this? He found a working terminal. Dusty, flickering, but alive. Project Eva Records. Year 2179. Subject status: hybrid success. 1 remains. Warning: mental link active. Do not engage without clearance. Ryan's eyes widened. Hybrid, mental link? He clicked a video log. A scientist appeared on screen, pale, tired. This is Dr. Kellen. The alien DNA has bonded with subject EVA-7. She is responding to both human and non-human signals. She can hear them. She knows when they are coming. We fear she may become a bridge or a weapon. The video ended with static. Ryan stepped out. Eva looked up at him. You were made in this lab, he said quietly. She nodded. I remember pieces, dreams, screams, then quiet. Ryan sat beside her. Why did they make you? To stop the war, she said. But they were afraid. So they locked me away. He looked at her. This small, strange girl. Not fully human, not fully alien. But alive. Breathing. Feeling. They wanted to use you, Ryan said. Like a tool. I just wanted a family, Eva whispered. Suddenly, the ground shook. A soft hum filled the air, like a song from deep underground. Eva grabbed his hand. They're waking up. Who? The others. The ones who didn't die fully. Ryan stood fast, gun ready. Inside the lab? She nodded. Under it. In the dark rooms. Ryan checked his map. There was a sealed floor below, a sublevel. Against his better judgment, he headed down. The stairs creaked as Ryan moved, flashlight in one hand, weapon in the other. The air grew cold. The walls were covered in strange symbols, part human writing, part alien code. At the bottom, he found a door. Heavy. Steel. Scratched from the inside. He opened it. Inside were pods, 5 of them. 4 were empty. The 5th moved. Something inside was breathing. Ryan stepped closer. It was another child. Skin pale. Eyes black. Mouth open in a silent scream. Tubes ran into its body. The heart monitor blinked, alive, but trapped. Suddenly, the child's eyes shot open, and it stared right at Ryan. Then it spoke in a voice not its own. She is ours. You are not welcome. Ryan froze. Who are you? The ones beneath. She carries our mind. She is the seed. The voice was deep, echoing inside Ryan's skull. He raised his gun. If you touch her, I will end you. The pod blinked off. Silence returned. The child inside closed its eyes again. Ryan backed away. He returned upstairs and saw Eva standing at the door, eyes glowing. Why did they say I belong to them? She asked. Ryan knelt down. Because they made you. But that doesn't mean they own you. She was shaking. What if I become like them? Then I'll still be here, he said. You're not a monster, Eva. You're a child. You get to choose who you become. Suddenly, the radio crackled. A new signal. This is Patrol 9 to command. We found the old station. No survivors expected. Proceeding to clear the site. Ryan's heart dropped. They're coming, he whispered, to clean up their mess. Eva looked afraid. They'll take me back. No, Ryan said, standing tall. They'll have to go through me. As the camera pulls back, we see the jungle shaking. Creatures move through the shadows. A human ship enters the atmosphere, cold and silent. Eva stares at the sky. Ryan loads his weapon. A new fight is coming. The night fell fast on the alien planet. Faster than Ryan expected. The jungle outside the lab was too quiet. No birds. No wind. Just stillness. The kind of silence that warned you something was watching. Ryan stood by the window, gripping his rifle. Eva sat curled in a corner, arms around her knees, her white hair glowing faintly in the dark. He could feel it now, a pressure in the air, like the whole world was holding its breath. They're close, Eva whispered. Ryan turned. The patrol. She shook her head. No. Worse. Ryan slowly moved toward her. The creatures from the lower floor? Eva nodded. They follow the voices. They come when the voices call. Ryan checked his weapon. Full charge. Safety off. His soldier brain was ready, but his heart wasn't. These weren't just monsters. They were once human. Outside, the sensors blinked. Movement, multiple figures. Ryan turned on the camera feed. In the grainy night vision, he saw them. Tall, thin, twisted. Their skin looked stretched. Bones poked through in strange places. Glowing veins ran across their arms. Their faces barely human. Their eyes were dark pits, but they moved like soldiers, organized, steady. Then one of them looked directly at the camera. And it spoke. Ryan. His blood turned cold. Impossible, he muttered. How do they know my name? Eva stood now, trembling. They remember you. One of them was your friend. Flashback. A memory hit Ryan like a punch. Lieutenant Marcus Hale, his squad mate. Lost during a deep space mission. Reported dead. Or missing. He remembered Marcus's face. His voice. The way he used to say, "We'll get home, one way or another." Ryan stared at the figure on the screen. Was that him? The lights flickered. Then darkness. The power was gone. Backup generators dead, Ryan said. They're inside the perimeter. Suddenly, bang. Something slammed against the outer wall. Eva screamed. Ryan grabbed her. We move. Now. They ran down a back hallway, heading for the armory. The doors shook as something pounded from the other side. Why are they here? Ryan asked, breath heavy. They want me, Eva said. But also you. Me? You carry something inside. A memory. A promise. They reached the armory. Ryan broke open a locked crate and pulled out a plasma rifle, an old exovest, and a flare launcher. He handed Eva a small pulse beamer. Stay close. Only use it if they touch you. She nodded. Then the wall behind them exploded inward. One of the creatures stepped through. It wasn't fast. It didn't need to be. It just stared, its head twitching. Ryan, it hissed. I knew you once, Ryan said. Didn't I? The creature smiled, twisted and broken. Marcus is gone. But I remember you. It lunged. Ryan fired. The blast hit its shoulder, burning through flesh and bone, but the creature kept coming. Ryan tackled Eva and rolled behind cover. He tossed a flare into the hallway. The red light lit up 3 more of them. Crawling, walking, dragging themselves. Not alive. Not dead. Half tech, half human. Driven by the same alien voice that once spoke through Eva's dreams. They ran again through the old corridors back to the lab's command center. Ryan sealed the doors behind them. Sparks flew as the controls failed. He slammed his fist on the console. Why won't they stop? Eva looked up, her voice calm. Because they can't. They're not hunting. They're obeying. Obeying who? She stepped forward and pointed at her chest. Me. Ryan stared. What are you talking about? I'm connected to them, she said. Part of the hive. But I'm different. I still have choice. She touched his arm. That's why they hate you. You're the one who gives me choice. Ryan looked at her. A child. A hybrid. A weapon. And yet, she was more human than the creatures outside. A sound came from above. A human drop ship hovered in the distance. The patrol. They were scanning the area. They'll land soon, Ryan said. They'll want to take you. Eva's eyes filled with fear. They'll put me back in the machine. I don't want to go back. Ryan knelt beside her. Then we fight. We fight until we win, or until no one's left to take you. As the creatures climbed the outer walls, as the patrol ship drew near, as Eva's eyes began to glow brighter, Ryan readied his final plan. One last stand. Eva was dreaming. She stood in a white room. No walls, no ceiling, no floor, just light. Voices floated all around her, speaking in a language she had never learned, but somehow understood. You are the vessel. The signal lives inside you. He will break the chain. Suddenly the voices stopped, and a new voice, deeper, colder, whispered, He cannot protect you from us. Eva opened her eyes, gasping for breath. The real world returned. The research station was shaking. Dust fell from the ceiling. Red lights blinked weakly. Somewhere outside, engines roared. The human patrol ship had landed. Ryan was already moving, setting traps at the entrance with old explosives and motion sensors. His face was calm, but his eyes were hard. Tired. Eva sat up slowly. Ryan, she said. I saw them again. He looked at her. The voices. She nodded. But not just voices. I saw memories. Not mine. Theirs. Ryan stopped what he was doing. The creatures outside? No, she said. Before they became that. I saw people. Scientists. Soldiers. I saw what they did to them. I saw what they planned to do to me. Ryan sat down beside her. Tell me everything. Eva closed her eyes. There was a room with glass walls. I was small. I remember crying. Someone always watched me through the glass. They said I was special, but never let me leave. She looked at him. They connected my mind to something underground. Something old. Alien. They wanted to use me like a radio tower to control the hive. Ryan's stomach twisted. They built you to control the enemy? She nodded. But something went wrong. The connection was too strong. The hive didn't become slaves. They became awake. A loud boom echoed outside. The first trap had gone off. Ryan stood and looked at the screen. The human patrol team was engaged in a firefight with the twisted hybrid creatures. Let them kill each other, he muttered. Gives us time. But Eva shook her head. No, they're not enemies. Not to each other. What? They're working together now. Ryan checked the live feed again. The human soldiers were not firing at the creatures. They were moving with them. One of the soldiers even handed a device to one of the tall mutants, who plugged it into its chest like it was nothing. Impossible, Ryan whispered. They're linked, Eva said. Just like I was meant to be. The patrol didn't come to rescue. They came to collect. Suddenly, the comm system crackled. A voice came through. Captain Ryan Cole. This is Commander Voss of Earth Force Retrieval. You are holding Project EVA. Stand down. Hand over the subject. Or we will enter by force. Ryan didn't reply. He looked at Eva. What do you want to do? She looked up at him. Her voice was small but clear. I want to choose. For once in my life, I want to decide who I am. Ryan nodded. Then we're not giving you up. They moved deeper into the station, to the core room, the heart of the facility. The only place where Eva's signal could be controlled or shut down. Plug into that, Ryan said, pointing to a glowing terminal. Show me what you can do. Eva placed her hand on the pad. Her eyes rolled back. In an instant, she was everywhere. She was in the minds of the patrol soldiers. She felt their orders, their fear, their memories. She saw their implants, their fake loyalty. She felt the hive signal burning in the back of their brains. She was in the hive itself, the twisted memories of the creatures, what they used to be, what they lost. Some of them still remembered being human. And then she found something else, a deeper voice. Ancient. Sleeping. But now watching her. Child of two worlds. You are not ready. She pushed back. I wasn't made to serve. I was made to decide. And for the first time, the ancient voice paused. Back in the real world, Ryan saw Eva's body shaking. Lights around the room blinked. Screens scrambled. Eva! He shouted. She gasped and fell backward. He caught her. What happened? Her voice was soft but strong. I sent them a message. What kind? She looked at him, eyes glowing bright gold now. One that said, I'm not yours anymore. Outside, a strange thing happened. Some of the creatures stopped walking. They turned and attacked the soldiers. Confused gunfire broke out. The hive was breaking. Eva stood tall now. I'm not just connected, she said. I can lead them. Ryan stared at her in awe. You just started a war inside their minds. She nodded. And I know how to finish it. The lab was on fire. Alarms screamed. Metal groaned. And the sky outside burned red with plasma. The jungle trees lit up one by one. Not from flames, but from energy pulses, spreading in waves from the shattered research station. Captain Ryan Cole stood in the wreckage of the core room, his body shaking from the heat and shock. Beside him, Eva stood completely still, eyes glowing like two suns, hands raised as if holding invisible threads in the air. Half the hybrid creatures had turned on the soldiers. The others, still under the hive's control. It was chaos. But in the middle of it all, Eva was calm. Her voice broke the silence. They are listening to me now. Ryan stared at her. What are you doing? I gave them something they never had, she said. A voice. A reason. They're monsters, Ryan said. Eva looked at him, her expression unreadable. They weren't always. Ryan had seen war. He had killed enemies with his hands, saved brothers, lost sisters. But this was new. Not a battle between sides. This was a war between minds. And he had no map for it. Suddenly, the comms crackled again. Captain Cole, this is your final warning. Commander Voss's voice was sharp, cold. We know she's sinking with hive units. This is not allowed. If you do not surrender Project EVA now, we will neutralize both of you. You have 60 seconds. Ryan turned the comms off. Neutralize, he muttered. That's what they call it now? Eva looked at him. I don't want to hurt anyone, she whispered. But I won't let them use me. Ryan nodded. He looked at the emergency evac map still flickering on the wall. There was one last option. The signal tower, deep in the jungle. It was a backup relay meant to send out a planetary distress signal or a hive override pulse. But it had never been used. Eva, he said, if you can connect to that tower, can you shut the whole system down? She hesitated. Yes, but if I send a full pulse, the connection in my mind, it might burn out. I could lose me. Ryan stepped closer. Then don't do it. She shook her head. I have to. They ran. Through broken halls, shattered labs, past the bodies of soldiers and creatures alike. Some of the hybrids didn't attack them now. One of them, twisted, limping, with metal wires growing out of its spine, stopped and looked at Eva. It whispered, free, and then turned away. Outside, the jungle was a storm of sound and heat. Dropships circled overhead, searching, scanning. Ryan and Eva stayed low, moving through the shadows. He kept his rifle ready. She kept her mind open. After nearly an hour, they reached it, the tower. Old, rusted, covered in alien vines, still pulsing faintly. Eva stepped up to the console. Ryan stood guard at the entrance. What will happen if you send the signal? He asked. I'll wake every mind connected to the hive, she said. Some will remember who they were. Some will break. Some might die. And you? She looked at him. I might disappear. Ryan stepped forward, pulled something from his vest. A worn, torn photograph. It showed a little girl, human, smiling. Brown eyes. Same age as Eva. My daughter, he said. She died before the war. I never got to protect her. He held the photo beside Eva's face. I don't care what blood runs in your veins. You're not just an experiment. He stepped back. But this is your choice. Eva placed her hand on the tower core. Her voice became a whisper. I want to be free. The tower came alive. Lights flashed. Energy surged. Across the planet, the hive shuddered. Creatures froze. Some screamed. Some dropped to their knees. Some stood tall and blinked as if seeing for the first time. On the orbiting command ship, Commander Voss slammed his fist on the console. Shut her down. Use the kill code. But nothing worked. Eva had broken the system. Not just from the outside, but from within. Back at the tower, Eva fell to her knees. Blood dripped from her nose. Ryan caught her. I'm still here, she whispered. But I can't hear them anymore. Ryan smiled through his tears. Good. Did it work? She asked. He looked up at the sky. The battle had stopped. Total silence. And then, a scream. One last creature, tall, monstrous, burned, crawled toward them. His face half human, half machine. Ryan raised his rifle, but he was too slow. Eva stood up, barely conscious. She looked at the thing, and whispered, no more. The creature stopped, then fell, dead. Ryan caught Eva again. Her eyes were dim now, her light fading. Eva, he said, stay with me. She smiled weakly. You stayed. Even when I was dangerous. You're not dangerous, he said. You're mine. The wind was quiet now. Captain Ryan Cole sat under the shadow of the signal tower, holding Eva in his arms. Her breath was soft, like the last flicker of a dying flame. Her glowing eyes had dimmed, but they were still open, still watching. I'm here, he whispered. I'm not going anywhere. Above them, the sky had changed. The red storm clouds had broken apart. For the first time in years, the stars were visible, shining over the alien jungle. The hive had gone silent. But not everyone was dead. Across the broken jungle, others began to rise. Not soldiers. Not machines. Children. Hybrid children just like Eva. Buried in stasis pods, locked in forgotten rooms, left behind like broken tools, they were waking up now. Some came from underground chambers. Others walked out from deep forests, barefoot, blinking at the light. Their minds were free, no longer part of the hive. But they were not alone. Ryan saw the first child step out of the trees. A boy no older than 10. Skin silver blue. Arms glowing faintly. Eyes wide with confusion and fear. Then another came. And another. Within minutes, more than a dozen hybrid children had gathered near the tower, drawn by the signal Eva had released. They did not speak. They simply stood, silent witnesses to a war they didn't start, and a world that had already abandoned them. Eva stirred. Her voice was faint. They're like me. Ryan nodded. They heard you. I didn't know. There were so many. You woke them. Eva looked up at the children. They're scared. Ryan stood slowly. Faced them. I know you don't know me, he said loudly. But I'm not here to hurt you. The children didn't answer. They looked at Eva. She raised her hand weakly. It's okay, she said. He's the one who stayed. Far above, on the orbiting command ship, Commander Voss watched the scene through a drone feed. His face was pale. He turned to his officers. Terminate them. All of them. Send in the fire team. Sir, a lieutenant said. They're children. They're weapons, Voss growled. Broken ones. We built them. We erased them. He activated the strike order. Back at the tower, a sharp buzzing filled the air. Ryan looked up. Drones. Dozens of them, dropping fast through the clouds like steel insects. He raised his rifle. They're coming again. Eva pulled herself to her feet, leaning on him. We can't run. Ryan looked at the group of children behind him. Barefoot, thin, lost. They had nowhere to go. And neither did he. He turned to the kids. I'm not a general. I'm not a hero, he said. But I will fight for you. Why? One girl asked softly. Ryan looked at her. Because no one else did. He handed a small beamer to the oldest boy. Ever used one of these? The boy nodded, slowly. I remember. In the lab. Good, Ryan said. Protect each other. Stay low. Stay quiet. But if they come, you fight like your life depends on it, because it does. The drones arrived. The sky filled with light and metal. Shots fired. The jungle exploded in fire and sound. Ryan took down the first drone with a precise blast. The boy took out another. Two kids with glowing hands worked together to create a short-range EMP burst that fried 4 drones at once. They were scared, but they fought. Together. Eva didn't shoot. She spoke. Not with her voice, but with her mind. She reached out again, not to control, but to connect. Some drones stopped midair. Some turned on each other. Ryan watched, stunned, as Eva used the last of her strength to override the machines meant to kill her. She's rewriting them, he whispered. On the orbiting ship, Voss watched in horror. What is she doing? She's changing the drone's code, one officer said. Sir, she's in our system. Cut the link. We can't. Too late. Eva sent one final message through the network. We are not your weapons. We are not your mistakes. We are not afraid of you. Then silence. The drones dropped. All of them, dead. Ryan ran to Eva as she collapsed again. She was cold, barely breathing. Stay with me, Eva, he said, holding her tight. You did it. They're safe. You saved them. Her voice was a whisper. I chose this. And then her eyes closed. The children gathered around them, silent. A new sky above. A broken world below. But something had changed. The hive was gone. The system was broken. The children were free. Ryan stood, holding Eva in his arms. He looked at the others. I don't care what they call you, he said. You're not weapons. You're not lab rats. You're not projects. He looked up at the stars. You're mine now. There was silence. Not the kind that follows a battle, but the kind that follows a change. The tower no longer hummed. The sky no longer burned. The air, once filled with fear, was now still. Captain Ryan Cole knelt in the jungle grass, holding Eva in his arms. Her skin was cold, her eyes closed, but her face, peaceful. Around him stood the other hybrid children, watching, not crying, not speaking, as if they were waiting for something they didn't fully understand. Ryan looked up at the stars. For the first time in years, the stars were bright, not hidden by fire or smog, but clear, untouched. He whispered, She did this. No one answered, but they all knew he was right. Then a sound. Engines. A sleek Earth Force carrier broke through the clouds, slowly descending toward the tower clearing. But this time there were no guns drawn. A white flag flashed from the ship's hull, a symbol of peace. Ryan narrowed his eyes. Now they come. The ship landed with a soft hiss. Its ramp lowered. A small team walked out, doctors, diplomats, observers. No soldiers. No weapons. The one leading them was Admiral Renhale, a man from Ryan's past, older, colder, but with eyes that still knew him. He stepped forward. Captain Cole, he said carefully. Ryan didn't move. Admiral Hale looked at Eva, still in Ryan's arms. Is she? Ryan cut him off. She saved them. All of them. Hale looked around at the hybrid children. Earth Command received her signal. It went everywhere, not just to us. The colonies, the fleets, even the hive world. They all heard it. Ryan raised an eyebrow. She spoke for herself. Hale nodded slowly. She may have just ended the war. Behind Hale, one of the doctors whispered, That child, her neural scan, matches the core AI signal we lost control of years ago. Another answered, But her emotional readings, they're human. Ryan stood, Eva still in his arms. He walked toward Hale. You came to erase her. You called her a weapon. Hale didn't argue. She changed everything, he said quietly. Now we don't know what she is. Ryan stopped a few feet from him. I do, he said. He looked down at her face, brushing the hair from her eyes. She's a child, and she's mine. The other children slowly followed behind him, barefoot, strange, quiet, but no longer afraid. Ryan turned to the Earth Force team. I don't trust you, he said, but I'll give you one chance. You help them. You protect them. You let them choose who they want to be. Hale hesitated. And if we don't? Ryan raised his eyes, full of fire. Then I stay, and I teach them how to fight. The two men stared at each other for a long time. Then Hale nodded. You have my word. A few hours later, Ryan sat beside Eva on a medical bed aboard the Earth Force ship. The doctors had done what they could. Her body was stable, but her mind, silent. She's in a coma, one doctor explained. Her brain is still active, but quiet, like she's dreaming. Ryan nodded. He reached into his pocket and pulled out an old audio recorder. He pressed play. It was a voice, his own voice years ago, reading a bedtime story to his real daughter. Eva stirred. Just a little. A finger moved. A tear rolled down Ryan's face. You hear that? He whispered. That's how it used to be. Quiet. Safe. I want you to wake up. I want you to hear it again. The world, your world, is different now. He leaned closer. So please, stay with me. Weeks passed. The children were taken to a special place. Not a lab, not a cage, but a sanctuary. Earth Force called it the Haven. Ryan stayed with them. He trained them. He told them stories. He cooked terrible food and made them laugh. He became what they never had, a father. And one morning, just as the first light touched the horizon, Eva opened her eyes. She looked around, blinking. Ryan was asleep beside her chair, holding a book. She smiled and whispered, You stayed. Ryan woke, looked at her, and laughed through his tears. Of course I did. She sat up slowly. Are the others okay? They're more than okay, Ryan said. They're alive. They're learning. They're dreaming. She smiled. Good. Then her voice turned soft. Can I still be just me? Ryan nodded. Always. Later that day, Eva stood at the edge of a cliff with Ryan and the other children. Below them, forests stretched for miles. Above, ships flew not to fight but to watch over them. The war was over, but their story was just beginning. Ryan smiled and whispered, Always.